Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to do this iPhone 6s Plus teardown. So you're going to need this pentalobe screw. I'm sorry just going into this really fast because I don't know why not. And you're going to need to unscrew these two little pentalobe screws down at the bottom of the phone. And once you take those out, just sort of set them off to the side. And I'll just go through what we need to do next, which would be the heat gun and a thin metal pry tool. I will link the toolkit that I'm using in the description, and it works very well. Then you're going to need to use this heat gun to heat up the bottom of the phone, and I'm just doing the edge to make it easier, and I've already broken the seal because this phone has already been opened. But if not, you will need to heat up the edges of the phone to soften the adhesive to make it easier to open. Once you do that, you're just not going to do this. This would be sort of a wrong example of prying because I'm just going in between the plastic of the screen frame and the glass, which can damage the glass and even the inner screen. What you're going to need to do, put the pry tool in there and then sort of twist upwards. Once you do that, you'll see a small gap like that, which then you can stick it and do the same thing, but be very careful for the top of the phone. That is where all the screen cables are. If you rip those, you will need to replace the screen. Once you do that, it should just sort of open up like that. Then take off that little cover with a 000 small Phillips head screwdriver. Once you just open that up, you will just take off those two screws, and remember, be very organized because most of these screws are different sizes. So once you do that, you will just sort of set these off to the side and when you finish those, just set that cover off to the side. Keep the screws separated, those are different sizes. And you're going to want to unplug the one closest to the battery because that is the battery connector. And if you unplug the screen before the battery, you run the risk of frying your screen. And don't use the metal one or your finger. You can, but, well, it hurts. So then you're just going to need to grab most likely a plastic pry tool or a spudger and unplug that little battery connector. Then, after that's unplugged, we can go and, with the same bit and the same screw, just do those 5 screws and stay organized. I can't tell you how much that is important, or else your phone will not work, and you run the risk of also screwing a longer screw through the back of your phone, which is not good. And so I'm just going to wait because, well, it's going to take a little while if you're doing this at home. I recommend also, I just thought of this, I recommend using a mat like this blue one that I have, to organize your screws and small parts, because it really helps out, and it is heat proof, so when you're soldering iron, when it gets hot, it won't ruin the surface that it's on. I will link the toolkit and this mat in the description, and let's keep going. Okay, so once this plate is off, you're going to need to remove it, and then use that plastic spudger thing to remove those 3 screen cables. That will then free your screen, and there you go. Now your LCD is loose, and it come off with no damage. And when you're doing this, I recommend not bending it past 90 degrees when the screen is still plugged in. There's the battery, and you're going to need to pull those adhesive strips out if you want to remove the battery. If you successfully pull them out, they will come out. Now the logic board screws, there's quite a bit of them. Some of them are standoffs and they're not very fun to remove, but that's how you remove the logic board, and then you can pretty much just pull it out and we're good. Thank you.